Hi there. Hello and welcome to today's deep dive with the Kazikoran Business Technology Group, KBTG in short, and their award-winning project Make by KBank. Just briefly, if you join us on LinkedIn Live now, just stay tuned. And if you've got any questions for our speakers, please put them into the chat and we will bring them into the session. My name is Ake Rudolph. I'm director of the UX Design Awards and the head of strategy at International Design Center Berlin, in short IDZ. We are the awards organizer. We are a leading independent design institution with more than 50 years of expertise. And our mission actually is to promote good design as a driver of innovation in business and society. And this is why we founded the UX Design Awards back in 2015. To promote the positive impact of people-centered design on our daily lives and to recognize people and UX talent across the world. Our call for entries for the awards are open twice a year in spring and autumn. So if you're working on great experience projects, have a look at our website or to connect with us on LinkedIn, social media, or via our newsletter. But now, welcome to our virtual event series. We are featuring award-winning designers and teams, and we invite them to present their work and share knowledge with our professional community. You can join us twice a month for deep dives with professionals and companies and talent tracks with up-and-coming UX designers. To stay tuned, just follow us or subscribe to our newsletter. But now let me introduce you to today's product award winners. Make by KBank. It's a mobile banking app that is designed for the young generation's financial needs, mostly in Thailand. Make focuses on how users interact with money in several areas, both on sharing beyond personal matters, on casual and flexible finance, and on humanizing the banking experience. And the jury was particularly impressed how the app mirrors interpersonal human networks by organizing contacts in space rather than lists, by leveraging a chat interface to track money sharing, and by using real names instead of simply account numbers. And this all combined turns the banking institution into a facilitator instead of a gatekeeper. And with this, I would love to welcome two team members who are responsible for the app's design, Fa and Parut. They both work as UX designers and design strategists at Kazikoran, and together with a large team, developed this exciting product. So Fa and Parut, the screen is yours. Take it away from here.
Okay, hi all. So let me share the screen and thank you so much for the great introduction. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let me adjust it a bit. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much again for having us today. And we would like to share our journey of Make by KBank. As you introduced, it is a mobile banking application / money management tools, and we will get to that in a while. That's why I introduced it as like two kinds of application. Okay, first of all, let us introduce ourselves. I am Fa Phongamon Papaphon Walakun, and we can just go by Fa. That's a lot shorter. And I'm here with Parut. Both of us are a designer at Beacon Interface Design Team, which is the design team for KBTG or Kazikoran Business Technology Group. As the name suggests, it's a business technology and also a design sector of a bank, of KBank or Kazikoran Bank. It's one of the main bank here in Thailand. To put it in short, we are a designer team for KBTG and KBank. Okay, what we will be covering today, we will start from the context of like Thailand in the year that we start to think about building new application, to the journey of how we discover all the concept, the design, and how we prepare for the launch, and also how we follow up after that. In between, we also like to reflect of how we like explore our perspective in design as well, how our perspective in design like change throughout the journey as well. Okay, let's get started. I would like to like introduce you to the context of Thailand in 2019, the year that we start building the application. Basically back then, the majority of Thai already familiar with the concept of mobile banking. They started to prioritize using mobile banking over going to a bank branch for their main activities, such as like to transfer to people or to bill pay or to top up. And also their daily usage, like to pay for a food, to pay for a shop, or the QR scan payment like you are seeing here in the photo. It's were become more popular at the end of 2019. So it's already pretty popular back then. And for the stat wise, as high as like 74% of Thai internet user already access to the mobile banking application. And this number is like the highest number in the world. So you can imagine that how popular it is. And also our bank, K Bank, we also have K Plus as our main mobile banking already. And it's already like number one because it's used by like the highest number of user already back then in 2019. So you guys might wonder why we need to like come up with another application, another product. At that time, there are also conversations in our team related to traditional banking processes. It's like if we carefully think about it, traditional banking processes like to top up, to pay bill, to transfer, that kind of stuff were like designed and defined long ago by the expert or the banker, not the users. And mobile banking application for us is just like a copied or a digitalized version of that processes. So nothing changed much except the convenience only. So mostly it's defined by the bankers. But if we perceive all this stuff from the view of the users, no one just want to make a transaction just the sake of making transaction, right? No one wake up and like, oh, I want to make transaction today. Most of them will have a goals behind or the feelings behind those transactions. For example, some might want to provide support for their loved one, like financially support, or to ensure their financial security for the future, that kind of feelings. However, these kind of feelings were completely neglected by the traditional mobile banking. So we see a huge gap here. And at the same time, it's just like a right match. Our leaders come to us and he has an initiative that, okay, let's create mobile banking experience as it should be. I like definitely copy his work, as it should be, like from the perspective of the users, from their behaviors. So our team designed to embed what we have just discussed in the last slide into this project. Yeah, and our goal is to reimagine mobile banking with the users at heart, to create digital services that truly fulfill young Thai's financial needs and also their intrinsic value. That is our start point. Oh, okay. This is a funny photo from the very beginning of the project, and the guy here is our PM. You know, the technology always works well in technology company. Okay, get back to our storyline. In this section, in the beginning section, I will tell you how we discovered those three concepts and translate it into designs and features. Normally, I'll refer to this phase as a classic user-centered design because we go back to the users. Okay, we begin our project with this mindset. This is what we commit to. We want to let go of our expert wheel of financial industry, and we also want to challenge the bank, our bank, to let go of our power that we used to define the rules and respect and shift the power back to the users. And we also use this as like motto for the rest of our project until now. Okay, classic but impactful. We conduct some of in-depth interview with our group of users. And from these sessions, we found out like three main insights that are our main concept for the application. Those insights are sharing beyond personal matters, financial or casual and flexible, and also we realize the need to humanize all the banking experience. And we will let you watch the video to get to know our app a little bit more, and then I will get back to this in detail of like how we translate each of these points into design. Okay, let's watch the video.
Let's take a look at how Make helps users with their financial needs through a story of Ploy, one of Make users.
I want to send money to my younger brother.
Ploy launches Make by KBank app and access a chat space with her brother. She uses chat banking to send money to her brother along with her message. And a lovely photo. The sky color in the background of the whole app changes to match the category, so Ploy can casually monitor where she's spent the most. Transaction activity appears in a chat format so both the sender and receiver can review it.
I want to manage my group's money.
Under Cloud Pocket tab, Ploy exclusively creates a new pocket to store group's money. Add a photo, give it a name, and add members. Here, members collect money together. Whenever the group spends money collectively, Ploy uses money from this pocket.
I also want to manage my own money.
She makes another pocket to save money for herself. Set a goal to track progress and lock the pocket to maintain discipline. There are unlimited pockets she can create. This way, Ploy easily allocates funds and overview all of her money partitioning in one place.
Now my friends are around, and I just want to hand the money.
Make users nearby appears immediately when Ploy launches Pop Pay. She can now transfer funds without asking for an account number. Choose a pocket and slide it up as if she were handing money to someone in front of her. While Ploy continues to use Make in her daily life, we constantly iterate for the next version. Let's take a look at how Make helps.
Okay, how was the video? Okay, I'll go back to what I mentioned about the concept. The first concept is sharing beyond personal matters. Before the research, most of us will tie banking activities or financial activities to something very, very personal. It should be like something password protected. No one gonna share their like banking activity with anyone else, or this is not to mention to share the same pool of money. But after the research, it really surprised us. And after all the analysis in our studio, okay, we carefully think about it and understand that, okay, financial activity is not always personal, but it is actually an activity that involves others in some ways. For some clear example from what we have found from the field, we have talked to some of the close friend that they share money together with our rigid records, because they feel like, okay, they are so close. If I like pay you for food today, we can like meet somewhere, whenever in the future, and you can just pay me back anytime. It's that casual. And also we talk to university couples that help each other to control and manage their money together. What's more, in Thai society, some of the children are expected to share the money with their like larger community, with their larger circle, with their like extended family, their parents, their grandparents. So sometimes they need to like set aside part of their money for that as well. So it's shared, right? That's a clear example from the research. But actually, if we zoom in every single transaction, they're going to be a sender and then a receiver, right? So they're going to be an interaction between the two. So now we understand that, okay, the transaction is like interaction rather than just activities of only like you and yourself. Actually, the concept of sharing, we applied throughout the application for the overall concept, but this is like two main example. On the left screen, it's chat banking. The feature is called chat banking. Actually, we kind of restructured the transaction activity into chat format, because this way it kind of emphasizes that it's interaction between the two people. And this way it's also allowing the users to communicate together with the transaction. Whether you want to attach the photo or you want to attach a memo to communicate to your friends, it's easier this way. And on the right hand, the feature called shared pocket. As you might already seen from the video, basically it's like a bucket of money which you can invite your friend, and or you can like dump the money in. And whenever you use the money for a group, all of the members can see those activities. It's like a same pool of money, so it's shared. Here comes the second concept, casual and flexible finance. Before the research, also, if you talk to the expert or the specialist, they might believe that to have a detailed record or like that kind of spending tracker is like the right way to manage your personal money, that kind of stuff. But for the user, in user view, they feel like these is like discourage them, because if you only like fail one time, it's like ruin all the whole attempt. Like if you forgot to record for like one transaction, it could ruin all the stuff. Instead of that, user just want something like more casual. They just want room to explore and trial and error. And they just want to feel, oh, it's okay. If you fail for the first time, they can just like decide their own way to manage your money. It's pretty casual. Also, most of the banking solutions, they kind of separate other part of the user life away from the banking functions. However, the user do not really separate it this way. User normally like link their lifestyle or link their life's inspiration, like their family, their loved one, their idols, or the thing that they want to buy. They link these stuff with the financial goal or the banking activity. So we want to like revive this stuff in our application. Okay. As we want to make the concept more casual and flexible, we agree to go with the concept of user-led. What does user-led mean? We just want to provide our user a space and let them design their own way of how they want to use it, rather than like coming up with one money management rule and just like tell them that, okay, you need to follow this step. We just want to make it more casual. And this is Cloud Pocket. It is one of the example of how we use the concept. The Cloud Pocket is more like a container of the money. So user can design it that way, how they want to like partition their money, whether they want to partition it into like savings, spending, or other people may want to divide it into different kind of group of money. Like this group of money is for myself, this group of money is for my friend, this group of money is for my family. So they can just design their own system. For the interaction wise, to make it more casual and friendly, we designed it to be spatial, to resemble how user interact with the real world object. Like you can see in the screen, you can just drag and drop money from one pocket to fill in another pocket, rather than using sequential user interaction. Because we think that in sequential user interaction is more like we already designed the path that a path or several path that user need to follow. So we feel like it's more strict that way. But when it's more spatial, it's like there's tons of possibility that they can like interact with it. So it might help lower the learning curve and make it more casual and help them explore the way. Oh, okay. This is one sample of how our user her goal to save for she used the photo of their children as a cover photo of Cloud Pocket. It's very simple, but the feedback is very good. She said that sometimes she want to use the money for other purposes. She just like see the photo of her children and that stopped her from doing so. The last concept here, humanized banking experience. We talk with a lot of new generation users, and they say that, okay, today there are a lot of alternative solution for banking, not only the solution from the banks. And they say that the bank is the most demanding because banks sometimes need the user to adjust themselves to how bank function, to learn about the banking jargons. So we really realize the need that, okay, we need to humanize all the banking experience for them. One of the examples is Pop Pay that you might already seen in the video. Is like when you're with your friend, you can just like select your friend photo here and send them money, rather than like choosing which is the right tab that we need to transfer to my friend and like inputting like very long account number, that kind of stuff. So we change it to be this way, which is more natural. And also all the language and communication in the application, we like replace all the banking jargons with like the human language. For example, instead of the deposit or the alienage account number, we just change it to like your friend name sent you XXX dollar, that kind of stuff. Okay, at this stage, we already have a user research and we come up with the value proposition of our application as a humanized mobile banking for community. And after this, we go on with like detailed UX UI design and collab with a developer to like develop the applications. And yeah, after this, I will hand the session back to Mr. Parut, and he will walk you through the rest of the presentation today.
Hi. So hi everyone, I'm Parut. And yeah, and the story Far told, like all the story you have heard was what we submitted to the award, really. And today we'd like to share more actually about like the journey of our project or product after that story. And the first one we would like to share is that it happened when our most method, right, the in-lab user interview method got challenged, and I'll tell you how or why. And so we call this instance the real world lab in our teams. It was when we invited real users to participate like a pilot test of the application just before we launched the application publicly. So we invited mainly university students, which was our prime focus group, to have the application installed and ask them to use it in their daily lives for 2 whole weeks. And we asked them to send us messages as a diary about how they use the app, and we followed up with the in-depth interview in order to understand more deeply about their thoughts. And the funny thing started there actually, because like in the previous study where Fahd told to us, and we tried to get feedback on our key features, right? And we recruited many participants, and they react very positively and enthusiastically about, and they actually kept telling us how these set of features would revolutionize their way of collecting money with friends. And one participant even mentioned that we should have submit this project for something like the Innovation Award, for example. And the reaction was that positive. But however, like in the real world context, after we asked them to use the app in their real life, they have no one to use it with. We found that the sharing aspect were not adopt as much as our pilot user have no one to use it with from the start. We suspect that it might be because the account opening process of the bank, you know, like compared to the account creation on social media, like it's much more complicated and it requires many more informations and way more regulated. And also the COVID-19 situation hit us hard as well, because it significantly reduced the financial interaction as no one get out of their home. And yeah, so from here, we really see how the in-lab feedback and the real-world user feedback can display like different stories. Yeah, for the example, the real-world context, they let us see that the personal money management aspect of Make was heavily utilized, as again, they have no one to use it with, because like the onboarding process was quite demanding. And yeah, for example, they use a cloud pockets to have their money ready to prepare their money for upcoming expenses, such as subscription fees, Netflix, YouTube, for example. And some really set aside their money for food and shopping and prepare them for use. And also like another feature is that the transaction messages, it was heavily utilized as a self-reminder, because like they have no one to use it at that time. So they kind of use it as a note on what they have spent it on. Yeah, so this instance, it made us realize like that the in-lab user research alone, maybe it might not be enough for the users understanding. That was our question. Yeah, so it made us be more aware of the external and uncontrollable factors beyond the lab, because like, you know, the real world and real life is complicated. And yeah, we learned to not taking the single test results as the single source of truth. And we need to seek more information and more context beyond that. And yeah, after that study and discussion with the team, we sort of pivoted our product a bit and gear more towards the personal money management as the immediate adoption. Yeah, rather than mobile banking for the community that Fah mentioned. Yeah, that was one story. And I have another one, which a story after the public launch. Yeah, you know, the story before was when we have a pilot test before a public launch, right? And now it's a after launch story. It was when we explored the role of both qualitative and quantitative method in order to understand users, in order to inform better designs. And yeah, for more context, it was actually the first time that us designers involved with the project after it launches, because as a small team, like we were very small of like 5 people, like while responsible for the whole products of the banks. And yeah, we were only able to focus on the pre-launch design deliverables, such as one user research, the UX UI design, and we deliver all the assets, and then we move to another project. But with Make, we have the opportunity to stick with the project and to witness what happened after the launch. And yeah, unlike before, that we can only learn through the user testing, right? Like after the app launches, we now got access to the more like real feedback that was generated through the real world usage from the people all over Thailand. And it felt really different this time. Yeah, one instance of that story is that we call it the quitter story, where we study why users quit using the app. Wait a second. Okay, so we study why users quit the app, and it was when the data team was closely monitoring the usage of the application, using that technique, and they spot a significant growth in the account closing rate, and that terrified us. And they then reached us and asked us to investigate more, like why it happened that way. So we conduct a user research to discover the reason. And yeah, the first thing that came to our minds, like our first instinct was that, oh man, like our product must be kind of bad, because like people quit using it after a while. But yeah, and what we found surprised us big time, actually, as we found that some of them use Make as the way to save money as a couple, right? So they were a couple together and they suddenly broke up, so they quit using Make like for good. And that was the real reason we found. Yeah, and that surprised us big time. Also, that's not the only thing, because another surprising story is that like closing account, sometimes it's not a single time event. Like we found that some people close their accounts because they believe that certain account numbers bring them luck. And this is really a trend in Thailand right now, that we believe that certain numbers have like a power to like bring them luck, or like bring them to a better quality of life. So they were on the quest of finding the account number they desire. And that's why they keep closing their accounts and open new ones to like get the number they like eventually. Yeah, from this instance, we can really see how 2 methods can tell like 2 conflicting stories. And that's the beauty of it, we think, because like, like one method can yield one story and one method does yield another. And yeah, after this, we decided to worry less about the closing account situation. And yeah, it gave us more time to focus on new features or usability improvement. Yeah, and from that point, together with many more activities, that crossed the line between qualitative and quantitative, while the data team did multiple experiments that categorize user into groups and try to see which groups respond to which certain messages. We also conducted more than 60 in-depth interview sessions, along with massive social listening, but mainly eyeballing through social medias and to read about what the users thought about our products. We even chat with users we know, and we monitor the behavioral usage data, and it brought us to the current value proposition of Make, actually, which is the intersection of just enough mobile banking and money management tool. And yeah, it's unlike any other mobile banking, because Make, we emphasizes the money management aspect instead of solely focusing on transactional features. And unlike any other expense tracker app, because Make, we can actually make transactions with the real money. So like the users actually manage money on the real money, not like on the like a layer of like nodes of numbers. but yeah, we are now at the point that as the product gets bigger, the challenges get bigger too, because we are we are so devoted to qualitative methods, and now we used to have close contact with users, and as we are reaching 1 million users, we found that their faces kind of become blurry and they gradually become rows of data. And this is where we are now. We feel like the qualitative method we practice, maybe it's not enough, or like several times we in question that if we can, how can we still maintain our deep understanding among like millions of users? Yeah. So we start to explore into mixed method and how can we integrate the user persona into this row of data points to make it more meaningful and actionable insights, to inform better design. And yeah, so this is the open question actually. So if anyone has recommendations, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to discuss about this. Yeah, so again, it made us realize that qualitative method alone, maybe it's not enough for user understanding. Yeah. And we are now try to utilize the strengths of each method, and combine it together. Okay, so to zoom out a little, like as a closing thought, we found that maybe no single method or single user research paints the full picture, but rather it's all about utilizing the strength of each method to know their weaknesses inside out. And as for now, we are fine-tuning how we could mix it together to get to understand users deeply, yeah, and to inform the design as much as possible. And yeah, also we think that to create good user experience, it's not solely about a specific method. It's not about a method, or it's not exclusively obligated to designers. We designers shouldn't act like a gatekeeper either. We should act like an enabler. And yeah, we think it's more like creating good user experience is more like the mindset that we are making an app or the product for someone out there. And we prioritize those someone over like our thoughts. And yeah, so I think that everyone has their own unique way to get feedback from users, like data analysts have their data that tells a story. Like everyone can read from social media to get feedbacks back to us. And yeah, even through the bank branches, they can bring us insights as well. And those contributes to user understanding. And yet, so I want to shout out to the team that as they value users' voice so much, they make room for us to explore new things all the time, to play around with different methodologies to learn and improve from it. We feel that our eyes are now broadened than ever with different perspectives. And yeah, that's actually where we are now. And we are excited to see what's next for our product. And yeah, this is the ending slide that even with all the changes in methodologies and perspectives, we want to highlight that our belief in putting the user first still lie within us. And that is all for today.
Thank you so much, Fa and Parut. Thanks for getting back on screen. So everybody out there, if you have questions to both designers, or if you have ideas on how to balance the different approaches to research, now is your time to send us messages via the chat, and we'll bring them in. Or just hop onto Zoom and you can talk directly with both of us. Thanks a lot for these insights, and thanks a lot also for sharing and having the courage to share that you have many open questions, because I think this is where everything starts. If you have questions, then you can develop, and if you think that you know everything, that's probably the end of the line for your product, or maybe even your career. Just going back to the beginning, first of all, congratulations on such a huge growth. That's 1 million users in a year. It's incredible. And thanks also for sharing the Twitter stories, which were very insightful and although I would love to know how you maybe reacted to some of the use cases that you mentioned, or whether you reacted, or maybe just decided it's not the core, topic that you want to work about, because that's also a valid decision. But like just starting from scratch, so what was the core idea for the product? Why did the company decide to go into this banking and financing app? Because you already had a banking app before.
I guess one of the reasons is that we just want to build our portfolio, having like more than one product, that's mean more opportunity to like create the product that really suitable for that user group. And, building another like smaller product, it's easier for us to explore and like, do our experiment on the product because it's smaller.
So in addition, like for more context, like the already existed mobile banking, which is K+, like we had more than 15 millions of users. So making one small change could mean like very huge impact. So
yeah.
like for the drastic change, such as like to rethink inside out from the whole, like how banking is defined, we sort of designed to go with the new product and to try out like how could it go.
Right, so this is more like an MVP that's now on the market, and it's a kind of trial and error project, which is very insightful also for you as designers to work on, I guess. Besides, of course, design, I mean, there's a huge bank behind you. There is, I think, the largest startup in Thailand, or maybe it's not a startup anymore. So there's obviously a lot of stakes in this project. So what other roles, KPIs, structures do you have to work within in this project? Can you share a little bit on this?
Okay. Even if we are a new product, but actually we have something core banking system which is like our main digital banking system that we need to connect with. So there's a lot of stakeholders, and also not only about the technical stuff, also the branding thing as well, because our product name, as you can see, Made by K Bank, we still utilize the name of like our bank, right? So actually there are a lot of stakeholders that we need to like work with. But with Made by K Bank, we're trying to change how we build a new product. Like what I've mentioned, we're trying to shift it back to users, and we try to use a new process, like to launch something that may be not that perfect. Yeah, but we make sure that our user money gonna be there. Yeah, so this kind of new process, like to try something small, launch it quick, and then get the feedback from the users and iterate it. This kind of the whole process is like pretty new for the entire bank. So there's a lot of challenge here.
And how do you inform the rest of your organization? Because you have a lot to share.
Yeah, thankfully that they give us opportunity to try. Actually, at the first place, it's not that easy to persuade or the stakeholders, but when you just start to getting your user coming in and get the positive feedback from our users, at the end the product gonna speak for itself, and also the user feedback gonna support us. Yeah, so later on, when all those stakeholders see how the app played out, I mean, how the users give us a positive feedback, it's like easier to yeah.
And do you have certain routines to communicate with the larger organization, and like sharing show and tells, you make them participate in your findings, or really laid out processes and how you share your research?
Yeah, normally we are in design team, right? Behind the interface team, we also advocate for users and design process Cs as well. So we also have like that kind of session that we introduce our process and also do some kind of introduction to design stuff, how to empathize user, that kind of thing from Beacon interface team. But for Make by KBank, it's more like after we getting that good feedback and that users coming in our application, we get more opportunity to like share our experience of like, okay, how you build that application from zero, how you bring the story of user to create this application.
And do you feel that that changed something in KBTG? I mean, did the role of design change? Did the recognition for design and user-centered design change? And how?
Great question. Actually, like we began with really it was a rough time, you know, like beginning in 2000, I joined Beacon Interface in 2017, and there were no discussion about like user research like at all. And we started from there, and we tried so hard to just to do one user research, right? But after Make, like after, I think the key is to let the team or all the stakeholders see how the user feedback give us, you know, like when they really see like the users are super happy and they react like very positively to our product, they begin to have like more buy-in in the design concept. And like at this point, like especially for Make's team, we are at the point that everyone like insists us to go out and find more insights and do more user research, and we honestly don't have enough time for that. Yeah, it's a slow but gradual process. Yeah, but I think time is essential as well. If we keep doing it, if we keep proving it, if we keep bringing the feedback in, yeah, I think like the stakeholders and everyone understands.
Yeah, I guess the key is to bring the user to the room and trying to let every stakeholder get in touch with the user as much as possible. With Make, of our developers also have some kind of contact with the users. Maybe they contact themselves. They are in the user discussion chat group or that kind of stuff, or sometimes we try our best to tell them user story, and this helped a lot. And yeah, to add what Parut just mentioned, for other teams, after 2017, it's like we have two roles. One role is designer, like to design, to do user research and design, and another role is like to introduce our process to other people as well. Like every time we get to work with a new team that we haven't worked before, it's like, okay, one of our role is to like introduce our process as well and to invite them to join us. And the more they join us, the more they getting better with like empathizing users.
Right, so you're design ambassadors within your own organization, going from team to team, person to person, getting them on board, making them participate and realize for themselves what user research can do. But still, I wonder, you know, having the possibility to develop such a product means having freedom and being enabled by somebody. So you need a mentor, you need a person that is higher up in the organization that gives you the freedom. So how did that happen? Was there a moment where the organization realized, we have to try something new, or how did it start?
I think it actually started with our CEO actually. So that's why we have like so much freedom, because like it was the idea of the self-disrupt. Actually, like he wanted, like before our competitor disrupts us, we would try to disrupt ourselves from within. And yeah, that's where the conversation started. And it became like this project made by KBank. Yeah, so actually like all the management, bought into the idea of Make because we keep doing better in terms of performance. Yeah, but our next year is sure gonna be like a challenging year.
So what's the challenge next year?
We are focusing on expanding our user base. Yeah, and that's challenging enough for us.
Yeah, and also getting to know that million users. We just want to know, I mean, how many of them already love our product, or how many of them feel so with our product, and what we could improve with our product to help them, that kind of stuff. Because like what they mentioned is like when it's getting to 1 million user, the user is like a row of data, and so it's harder for us to like put them in the group or like put them in the user persona. So that is our challenge, to ensure that 1 million is like they are happy. That's our challenge.
So now you have to shift, you have to change your research process, and now you also have to keep developing on the go as the product is live. And I'm wondering, you mentioned that you're still looking for the right formula there, and the balance between quantitative and qualitative research, but still now you're at the stage where a lot of data is involved. So obviously this data will give you insights, but then data doesn't tell you the why. So you see that something's going on, and then you have to answer the question, why is it happening? So how do you do this on a day-to-day basis?
Or for the day-to-day basis. Actually, thankfully that in our team, we also have a data scientist with us. So we kind of trying to work with them more, and also with our PM. Actually, at the moment, we're trying to create like a criteria that can help putting the user into different persona from the data, from the behavioral data. So if this develop it fully, so we can get better understanding of like how many group of persona there are now, and which of them feel better or feel bad, feel good with our application. Yeah, we are developing that kind of like criteria. So after this done, we can like better monitor it.
Yeah, in a sense, to create pockets of your users, as the app does with your money, and make them more understandable. Sometimes create a bit more standards so you can grasp them, right? And that gives you probably also an orientation towards which user groups to move towards, right?
Yeah, but the hard one is how we turned our understanding in their behaviors into the rules that the computer understand. Yeah, that we are at that stage. Yeah, discussing about this.
So you mentioned quite a few innovations that the app has, and this is also why the jury decided to grant the app and your work an award, which is the pop pay and the chat interface, and a very intuitive way how people can actually drag and drop as we're used to do with our screens. So I'm wondering what are the elements that you're most proud about in terms of user experience and the UI design that you offer and interaction?
I think it's like a bit and pieces like here and there, but this is actually like we are like before joining the event, I was discussing with Fa as well about like the convenience, or like the interaction is like a micro interaction that is like spread out like throughout the app, and there's no like one major thing that is a killing interaction that we like the most. But for me personally, I think it's like what I'm proud of the most was that a small decision that like the cloud pocket box you know, like the square thingy. Like we used to have like a very small sort of cloud pocket profile picture. And I don't know if I can show the slide. We used to have like a very small cloud profile picture where users can customize like their like picture. And that like we saw that if users like to set the pictures to what they value, like for example, idols, their children's, their whatever mission they have. And we decided that, oh, why don't we bold this up a bit and make it larger? It was in the next slide. Yeah, why don't we bold it, like make it a little bit bigger and make it a little bit more like louder, you know, in the term of like the design. Yeah, and this is actually the decision I like the most, that we decide to did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
pretty simple, but the impact is pretty big. We also surprised with this as well.
Yeah, like sometimes we even question that, oh, is this a feature? Because like it's simply the reframing of the border, you know, that, but like it acts like a feature in a way, because like users seem to really like it. Like as soon
Yes,
as
of
we
course.
launched it, we got the feedback from the chat. Yeah. Yeah.
And you brought in this personalization, which we all like about our products, because otherwise they are just bits and bytes. And
Yeah.
so what was the moment when you realized how that could be something, or was it by chance?
For
Actually,
the
we talk
one,
about for the Cloud Pocket redesign, right? Actually, at that time, we talk about how should we motivate user to save more, something like that. How should we motivate user to like have more discipline in their financial management? And we think about like very complicated mechanic, that kind of stuff. Having a game with their friends or very long story, but yeah, due to the efforts and that kind of stuff, we not sure with that stuff that much. But at the end, someone actually, I guess it's you, right? You just come up with, how about to bold up the photo?
like I actually saw like a post on social media where they kind of proudly present that they are saving money for their kids. And I still remember that post. Actually, like it was written something like, oh, a little bit at a time, but I will have like money ready for you when you grow up, something like that. And I saw like a very small like face of the children of the child. And yeah, that's where the idea sparked. Like, why don't we make it bigger, and it motivates our users to save more money, you know, in a way.
Right, it's all about motivation and being able also to have some control and some agency over a product and the elements and the interactions. I'm wondering, what did you realize other changes of habits or usage through the app that intrigued you? Maybe even really habits that change in terms of interacting with money.
Interesting. Let me think for a while.
Maybe if it makes it easier, let's just take a step ahead. And I'm wondering, you know, based on your experience, what would you look forward in terms of the future of interaction in personal finance? Or is this something that you think that will make a shift, that will be the next big thing?
We once thought about how like if it's possible to create an app that is like shapeless or like amorphous or like omnipresent, you know, like that, to truly become like the apps in their daily lives. Is there a way to minimize like interaction as much as possible, so they don't have to do anything, but the app does the job for them. And that was one concept, and maybe that could happen in the future. I don't know, like where, like, how phones like gradually become like parts of their lives. And I think maybe finances can be like something like phones, where people don't think of it as the app anymore, but it's their wallet, yeah, or like their money.
I see
Like-
you thinking.
Doing the pop pay thing without your mobile banking or without opening the app, that kind of stuff, or help increasing discipline by automation or something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fascinating things that we can think about in terms of, excuse me, like zero UI, predictive tech, and well, basically anything that can make our life more, or technology, but more same as we react and interact in everyday life. So I would agree with you that sending money with a swoosh to the next person, or just like having people pop up on the screen that are around you, that's already something that is very helpful. Just to wrap it up a little bit, before, when we had a short talk, you mentioned that the user group is changing, and actually you intended the app to be for young people in Thailand, but you realize it's attractive across the ages, so it seems to be very inclusive. Or are there elements that you're working towards in terms of different age groups, something that you need to change?
Yeah, maybe thanks to the concept that we're trying to make it as casual as possible. So all the UX and UI are pretty simplified, right? How we remove all those banking jargon and that kind of stuff. So even when the age group is changed, I think it's kind of intuitive enough for people with any ages, so that helped a lot. For example, if the person that is older, it's pretty easy to like introduce how they can use me as well, right? You can just choose your daughter profile to send your daughter money. That is easy enough. So even the age shift to be like not only specifically for the very, very young age, for like someone pretty older, that still okay. Currently.
I think
And
like
there's a lot of possibilities also to potentially think about financial education for kids when you're working on actually technology and interactions that are so easy to use, that they actually are able to bring in all age groups. Harut, you were about to say?
Oh, I was gonna say that because the fundamental of Make, which was the humanizing banking experience, I think it works for everyone. But although like the look and feel might be like a bit towards like younger generations, and yeah, I think that might be the main challenge to make it more maybe neutral, if that's our decision, like towards everyone. Yeah, but I think that the humanizing mobile banking experience applies like all, and it's very inclusive for itself, like for the concept itself. Yeah.
Great. And this is also about designers being enablers, as you said before, and you will keep going on this for a long time. And this is to another 1 million users soon. Last question, what did the winning the award change? Or did the winning of the award change something for you?
Sure, like what I've mentioned, winning award like means a lot to us as well, because it's play a role, right? Like another evidence when we need to convince that lots of our stakeholders, not only our user feedback, but your awards also play that role.
Yeah, I think it encourages us to like work on what we believe in and to
Mhm.
like keep iterating and improving of how we can enable users to be more accessible to financial like world. Yeah, and that really means a lot because like you know, sometimes we doubt in ourselves too, like once in a while. Yeah, but after winning the award, it really reaffirms us that we are walking in the a meaningful path, and we are taking a meaningful challenge. Yeah, and yeah, we want to keep improve ourselves even better from now on.
Well,
Yeah, and it's
congratulations
also
again. It's great work. Sorry, Fa?
oh yeah, and it's also a great opportunity to like talk to you and also like maybe like to get to know like the UX community around the world as well. Mhm.
So to everybody out there, reach out to Fa and Parut and their colleagues. That's a great team and it's a great product. I'm very happy to hear that it was a positive experience to win the award and it helped you in your work. And that's of course why we do this at all, to showcase good product and to showcase good design, but also to help designers get the recognition they deserve within the company and outside. So Fa and Parut, thank you a lot for this very nice talk and your insights.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for having us. Yeah.
It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure to be here with you. And thanks to everybody for joining. If you missed anything, just tune in to the recording of this session. It will be on LinkedIn right away and our website very soon. And Fa and Parut also promised to share their presentation. So we'll put them online, put it online so you can have a look also in the very elements that you might have missed. Please do join us again. And of course, we're running into the end of the year. So have a peaceful and wonderful end of the year and a break that we all deserve. But also do join us next year in January. Our next event actually will be in early January on the 11th, and it will we will be welcoming the award-winning team of the 7-1 Interaction Ecosystem, which is an exciting digital platform that enables editors in the media industry to create live interaction on TV with their audiences. So from finances to entertainment and many more, of course, to come. Stay with us, stay up to date, stay connected with us, and have a wonderful end of the year, a great party, and a great start into the next one, and hopefully also a peaceful year to come and a safe one as well. We're looking forward to see you in 2023. Stay well, wherever you are, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.